Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. Today is a bit of a serious topic that I wanted to discuss, and some of these things I haven't, like about myself, I haven't really shared publicly, and it may be triggering to some of you out there, and the only purpose I am doing this video is to bring awareness to the issue at hand and how it affects our families and things like that. I do know, coming from a background like mine, I'm South Asian and my heritage is Sri Lankan, and I do live in Australia. For those of you who didn't know, it is very difficult to sort of talk about these kind of issues and bring awareness to our mental health struggles that we go through. Speaking a little bit about myself, I have been struggling with depression and anxiety since I was a child, and there are so many factors that affected that, or made it worse, or made it better, and things like that. And obviously the real cause and the root cause, or how I got it and things like that, are obviously in the past, and I'm not going to talk about my very deep emotional personal things to the whole world, but the whole purpose of this video is to talk about, like, mental illness is such a taboo topic, just like talking about sex, especially in our culture. And people just think it's like this hush-hush thing. Like in Sri Lanka, I know a lot of people, if they have a child with a disability, like Down syndrome, autism, or things like that, they don't want the society to know that they have a child with a disability. They would take all kinds of steps to hide that. And one of the great things about living in Australia that I've seen is that they're not ashamed to have a child with disability. They still go to school, they still play with the other kids, they still enjoy their life to the ability that they can. Now, mental health is pretty similar in Sri Lanka, or I'm assuming in other South Asian cultures as well. It just is something that nobody talks about, and we had to treat it as if it's like diabetes, cholesterol, these other issues that are also health. Your health and mental health is part of your health, because it's your thought process, it's how you think, your brain activity, and it's basically how you function in your life. So any physical sicknesses is just the same as your mental sicknesses also. Now, as a person who suffered with depression and anxiety and has relapsed so many times, it was very difficult, especially as a child or a teenager. I've gone through a lot of difficulties trying to overcome or fit in with the society, or not to feel as if I am this this different person, or this useless like person without any capabilities, or like, it's just really hard, because when you talk about your mental health issues, and you do want people to talk about it, you do want people to get help, you do want them to be open about it, that way we can prevent things like suicide and self-harm, and all of these like things that come along with mental issues. But in a culture like mine, if you do talk about it, people tend to gossip about it and make up stories about it, or just basically like push you to the side and be like, hey, you want to be careful of her, she's crazy, things like that, or if you are actually getting help, or you're going to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist, a professional, to get help, then you know, or you are on medication for the illness that you're trying to treat, then people will think of you as a crazy person. So because of these reasons, not a lot of people are willing to talk about themselves or their mental health issues. Now, the number one thing when it comes to mental health is that if you do have an issue, if you do feel like you're depressed or you have anxiety, now I'm gonna put my main focus on depression and anxiety because that's what I've been dealing with my whole life, but there are another variety of obviously mental illnesses out there, like bipolar disorder or autism and things like that. So the thing is that the number one thing is that you want to accept, you want to admit to yourself that you do have an issue, and that's the only way that you are able to go out and get help. And the second thing is, once you've accepted it, you need to talk to your family, your partner, whoever that you are in close connection with. It might be your best friend. You need to be vocal about it and say, hey, I think I'm going through this and I think I need help. And the third step is to go out and get help. Find a psychologist or a psychiatrist, go to your GP, do a mental health assessment, and see how things can progress from there. I've been in therapy, I think since I was about 22. That's when my parents understood what I'm going through and actually took the steps to get me medical help, which I'm very thankful for, because you know it was a real struggle for me to figure out what's going on. Why do I feel sad all the time? Why do I feel worthless, and you know, all of these things were going in my mind, and you know, it was not nice. And I was in uni at the time, so it was affecting my studies, my relationships, and things like that as well. So since then, I've been on and off medication, I've been on and off therapy, and especially now that I'm pregnant with my second child, I am getting therapy from a wonderful psychologist, and she's been helping me deal with my emotions and all the struggles that you go through during pregnancy and your mental health, which is a key part of your pregnancy as well. So especially when you're pregnant, you need to put more focus into your mental health. And I already have a son, a 2-year-old, and I have a wonderful marriage, so I need to find the balance between all of that and my pregnancy and my mental health. And I need to get the right treatments to be fully aware of the situation and settle myself and see how these things can help me. What I did want to mention is having a relationship is difficult when you are going through something like depression and anxiety, because there are certain things that can be a trigger, certain memories that can come up, and you know, out of the blue you might start crying. And you know, I know this for a fact because it does happen to me a lot. And when it comes to a relationship, if you start dating somebody and you have that feeling that this might be the one, you do want to be very open and honest about yourself and your mental health from the get-go. You don't want to keep it till the last moment, right before you get married or a few months into the relationship, because that is not gonna work. When I met my husband 5 years ago, we definitely laid out all the cards in front of each other. He asked me out and he said he was interested in dating me leading up to marriage and all that stuff, because we instantly thought that we were, you know, going to be in each other's lives for a long time. And we knew we were the soulmate for each other. So we laid out all the cards in front of each other and said, hey, you know, this is my past, these are my experience, this is what I expect in the future, this is what a marriage, ideal marriage in my head is like, and these are the battles that I'm going through and things like that. So one of the topics was about my mental illness, and I don't want to call it illness, I do want to call it a struggle, you know. And I straight up told him I have depression and anxiety, and I've been trying to deal with it all my life, and at the time 5 years ago, what I was doing to you know, get help and all that stuff, and he was very understanding. But later on he did tell me that he was taken aback and he had to like rethink, what do I do? I've never had a relationship or never even been in contact with somebody who's had a mental struggle. So it was completely new to him, and he was a bit frightened by the whole conversation. But then, being the amazing man that he is, he went online, researched, and he asked me, can you give me some reliable sources to help me understand what you're going through? And that step right there was literally the baseline to our whole marriage, and when it comes to my mental health. And I am so thankful for him, and he is still learning to this day about how to deal with some of the emotions and some of the situations that we are going through as a couple. And he is super supportive. He comes to my therapy sessions, and he talks to me, he listens to me whenever I'm having a breakdown. And if he says something wrong, I tell that to him, like, you shouldn't be saying that to somebody who's going through something like this. And the next time I'm in therapy, he'll come and talk to the psychologist. And then, especially now that I'm pregnant and going through so much emotions, you know, hormonal related and depression, anxiety, and all these things, and he's been very, very supportive. So my tip is, if you want to have a great marriage, a great relationship, number one thing is to being open and honest. You need to be open and honest about what you are going through. Otherwise, the other person doesn't know what you are expecting from them and how they're supposed to deal with it. My husband had no idea about depression and anxiety, and he took the time to listen to me and go out and get all these resources and read websites like Beyond Blue, and there are some of the great websites that I will link down below, where, you know, there are sections about how as a partner you can support somebody with depression and anxiety and all these other things. And that is very, very, very important in your relationship. You can't be someone who always says, oh, she's sick, he's sick, you know, I better leave her alone. Or it's just not going to work that way. You need to support each other and help each other understand what's going on. And somebody with a mental health issue is not someone that shouldn't be in the society. You know, they are normal people. They're just a little bit different in the way they think. They need extra help, and some may need medication, therapy, and it's a lifelong struggle for a lot of people. And even myself, it comes and goes, you know. Couple of years I might be super happy and, you know, I do not have any signs of depression and anxiety, but then there comes a few months where I'm really low and down and hard on myself, and that's when I know, okay, I need to like get back on it and you know, do all the right things to bring myself back up and get help. If you don't have a supporting partner, it's not gonna work. So you need to be open and honest about it. You need to talk about it. If you're feeling down and sad and you need space, you need to tell them about it. You need to talk about how they can approach you when you are either, you know, having an anxiety attack, or, you know, when you're depressed, or whatever you're going through. You need to tell them, hey, I need some distance. I need you to give me 5 minutes. to calm down. That way I can talk to you afterwards and explain what's going on. And they need to understand that you need that space. You need time to calm down. You need to get your thoughts together and things like that. And taking them to your therapy sessions with you is a great idea, because then they do have an understanding of how you think, what he or she needs to do to help you and get through things like that. So especially when you have children in your relationship, it can be really difficult. If you're stay-at-home moms, if you're working moms, you know, moms and dads, everybody, and when you have children, the stress level is, you know, always elevated anyway. So if you are going through mental health struggles, add that stress level to that also, and it can be a bit of a disaster, and you need to act quickly to manage that. And you need a supportive, loving partner who will be there by your side to hold your hand and understand what's going through your head, and you know, just work together as a team to get through these struggles. That's what marriage is all about, you know. It's not just, you know, you need two hands to clap, right? So it's a team, it's a team effort. So that's what I just wanted to discuss in this video, and I hope it helped some of you. I do plan on doing more videos regarding mental health and marriage and how to have a great relationship and things like that. I'm not a marriage counselor. I am not a psychologist or a psychotherapist or anybody. I'm not a medical professional regarding any of these. I'm just a person who's had, you know, 30 years of experience with mental health and my own struggles, and I've been married for 5 years, upcoming in January, and I've had few relationships and struggles on my own. So I do have experience, and I only do talk about the things that I know of. I don't want to give wrong information. And I think it's just, you know, I think I'm really blessed to have a wonderful marriage, and that I can take examples out of that to share with the community and help some of you out there. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comment section. I hope this video helped some of you get through your struggles. I will provide all the links down below to helplines and things like that. That would be very helpful if you are going through something like this. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, and tell your friends if they like to watch my videos as well. Just share it with the community, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.